Here's the truth about getting rich. You don't need to journal. You don't need to meditate. You don't have to eat avocado toast or eat ramen noodles every day either. I have never and probably will never do those things, and I still managed to become a multi-millionaire. Now, I'm not saying journaling or meditating is bad, but in my experience, these 5 habits we will discuss today are far more important for the regular person to hit that millionaire mark in life. Habits are one of the most important factors in being successful in life, in my opinion. I mean, basically, you want to be in shape? It's not about what gym you go to or what supplements you use or what your gym outfit looks like. What matters is the habit of exercising 3 to 5 times a week and cleaning up your food intake, and the habit of being consistent with both of those over the long run. It's not hard, and you can change your entire life in a very short period of time by changing your habits. Whether you're 25 or 85, just some small changes can have massive impacts, especially when it comes to money. So it's not too late for any of you guys out there, so let's get started. So the first habit you need to have is to set goals. It is amazing how many people do not have actual goals set for themselves across their entire spectrum of life. Most people's goals kind of sound like this. They want to get rich, or they want to retire one day, or they want to own a house one day. Unfortunately, that is not goal setting. That is wishful thinking, and that is why you feel like you aren't making progress because, well, you aren't even going to make progress, if I'm going to be honest, because you got nothing tangible to reach for. Instead of saying, I want to retire one day, define it and make it an actual tangible goal. For example, a goal actually sounds something like this. I want to retire by the time I'm 62 with $2 million in assets, no debt, and $5,000 a month coming in passively each month to support my needs in that retirement. That is a defined, tangible goal that can be worked towards by taking actual actions to get there. Just saying, I want to retire one day means you will take no action because there is no actual defined ending to take action towards. You're basically rudderless, and when you have no direction, you will not take the actions, and even if you do take action, it will only leave you frustrated to the point where you eventually quit because there is no target to hit, and you're just kind of wandering aimlessly, wondering why you aren't rich yet when you're basically all over the map and not going towards one thing. Defining your goals to specifics allows you to work kind of backwards and figure out the steps you need to take today, tomorrow, next month, next year, and so on to hit those goals. Which leads me perfectly into the second habit, and that is to have intention to hit those goals every day. It's all great that you have defined your goals down to specifics and you have good, tangible, specific goals. Now take that next step and have intention each day and every day moving forward towards those goals. Unless you're actually already rich, have $2 million in assets, you are debt-free, and have $5,000 coming in each month passively, it is going to take time for you to get there, so you need to have intention daily to actually get there. And that, my friends, can be an overwhelming prospect to say the least. Basically going from 0 to $2 million in assets, no debt, and $5,000 in passive income is massive and seems insurmountable. But the question is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time is the answer, but you have to plan each bite and then actually execute to it daily to actually eat the entire elephant. On a daily basis, I write down each task I'm going to accomplish that moves me closer to those defined goals that I set. Yes, the goals are going to seem big and impossible, but I know 5 years later, I will be in a completely different situation because a bite every day makes the impossible task completely possible. It could be something like, I'm going to work a side hustle, more overtime, start a business, or whatever path you choose so I can divide that money up and put some towards my debt and the rest towards my assets, which it helps me take bites out of my goals each time and gets me that much closer to achieving them. You can do things like review your budget and see what you can come back on to accelerate the process and get your finances in order. But the truth is, none of those happen in a day, but you absolutely can make progress towards these goals daily. If you have $10,000 in debt, you might not be able to pay it all off at once, but you can put an extra $100, $200, maybe even $500 per month towards that debt to pay it off as you start to do some of those things. But you will not take any of those steps if you do not treat each day with intention. So the third habit you must do to get rich is to take ownership of everything. It's time to get a little bit uncomfortable here, guys. I'm sorry about that, but you gotta have the truth. You must take ownership with everything in your life. And when you do, then you will be able to make changes that actually matter and get out of the bad habits that are keeping you from getting rich. If you think the stock market is rigged so you can't make money no matter what, so what's the point in investing at all? Well, kind of guess what? You already lost the game before the game even started. And the same applies with real estate investments. The same applies with any investment out there. The truth is, the market is rigged to go up over time, but it's rigged for everyone who plays the game, not just a select few. If you always buy high and sell low, take ownership of that mistake and then figure out why you do exactly that. And I'm sorry, even though it may make you feel better, Wall Street has no idea who you are, nor do they care who you are, and they most certainly didn't control how much you looked into the investment. They didn't control your understanding of evaluating stocks. They didn't force you to buy high, nor did they force you to sell low. You chose every one of those choices. I can tell you from almost 25 years of investing in stocks, if you buy high and sell low, you are 100% of the problem. Now that doesn't mean sometimes I don't have losing investments, because I absolutely do. But every single time when I look at the losses, no matter when it was in my life, no matter what the losses were, it was my fault in the end. I made mistakes and it had nothing to do with Wall Street or anyone else. I didn't do enough due diligence. I missed some red flags. I didn't get the analysis right overall. I got lazy and listened to someone else instead of investing for myself. All of those are my fault. Once you learn to own everything in your life, you suddenly have the power to make incredible things happen because you own the process regardless. But now, because you acknowledge that fact, you now know that you can make changes that will change the outcomes. You decide whether you watch Netflix or the ball game instead of studying how to invest in stocks or real estate. You decide if you take the easy road and give some money to Uncle Bob and his crazy get-rich-quick schemes, or if you decide to start that online business or other business that you always wanted to start it and you actually learn how to do it. So even if you don't want to take ownership of anything and think everyone is against you, the reality is that you are in control of all of it, and you are actively choosing to be the problem instead of the solution. So the fourth habit is you have to forget luck. There is no such thing as luck in the end, and let me explain why. I'm not saying lucky things don't happen, but let me explain why there's no such thing as luck in the end. In my experience, luck is where opportunity meets preparation, meaning if you aren't prepared, you cannot take advantage of an opportunity, even though most opportunities everyone has access to, not all, but the vast majority. I got told every day by someone that I sure was lucky to have bought Apple back in 2002, or I was lucky to have been buying properties shortly after the financial crisis, or that I was lucky to have bought the lows in the stock market in 2022, and then seeing that money basically double up in under a year, as everyone had the same opportunity. I mean, unless you're really young, you could have bought stocks at the lows basically back in 2022. If you were an adult in 2002 and just had a $3,000 investment in Apple, you would be a millionaire today. Heck, actually, if you missed that and waited even longer, Apple actually fell further in 2003, so $2,000 will be worth $1 million today. There was no luck involved in any of those situations, just a different path chosen. I know lots of millionaires, and I don't know a single one that got lucky or inherited money or won the lottery or anything even close to luck. Not a single one. Every single millionaire that I know or that I've read about or anything else like that has made their own luck. Are you willing to do the same? And the final habit is to get real comfortable with failure. People are so fearful of failing that they never even try in the first place, and instead they kind of give in to false anecdotes like the game is rigged, or rich people got lucky, or some other narrative like that we just talked about. But I don't know a single great person, whether it be a great entrepreneur, a great athlete, or just a millionaire, that didn't experience failure not once, not twice, but many, many times over. We have built up failure basically as this negative thing in society, when in reality, it is a positive and actually part of every single successful person's journey. Nobody has the perfect idea, and failure will help eliminate a lot of the flaws and problems you need to correct to get to that success point. That's actually what failure does. Now, if you quit, then you learn nothing and will just call someone else who succeeds in the same exact thing you were trying to do as lucky. But if you take ownership, figure out what you did wrong, acknowledge that you did those wrong, make the changes, and try again, you are now closer to success than you were the first time. Try, fail, try again, fail again, but get better and try again, and somehow you magically become lucky to those around you because you achieved your goals while they never even tried for real in the first place. Get real comfortable with failure if you want to be successful. Now, I agree with you guys, the system is completely broken, and this channel is about exposing all that and showing you the truth about retiring early and being financial free, whether you're 25 or 65, everything we talk about applies to you. So make sure you're subscribed because they don't want you to know any of this, and I want you to be completely free from this mess. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.